This is the 2026 Suzuki Bergman Street, and as you can see, this is not just a small update, but this thing has been overhauled completely. Yes, a new design, new features. There's a lot to talk about. Let's begin first of all with the design. Now, as you can see from the front end, it looks quite sharper, more aggressive than before. You have these new twin LED headlights with an LED DRLs integrated quite well. This is the top spec model that you're looking at. There are two variants. I'll come to that a little later, but this is the top spec model, and it gets these accents over here, this dual tone accents. Looks very good, and this copper color reminds you of the color that you see on the Suzuki Hayabusa, the black Suzuki Hayabusa. You also get the new windscreen over here, nice cuts and creases on the side. If you move to the sides again, you have a bigger 3D emblem over here. You have the copper accents over here as well. And then when you move to the tail section, this has been revised completely too. You have an LED tail light, and you press the brakes. This is what it looks like with the brakes coming on. You have LED turn indicators, and you also have the fuel filler cap, external fuel filler cap that sits over here. Overall, this is again unmistakably a Bergman, but it looks quite nice. And one big change I feel that was very, very welcome is the addition of a 12-inch wheel at the rear as well. So now, instead of a 12-inch front and a 10-inch rear, that scooter the earlier Bergman used to look quite disproportionate, but this scooter looks quite proportionate because of the 12-inch wheels. And remember that the Suzuki Bergman EX used to get the 12-inch wheels at the rear. That scooter is still on sale, but this is all new. Now let me quickly tell you more about the features on this scooter. Apart from the LED turn indicators, and you can also see the indicators over here, which is again repositioned, looks very new. Apart from that, you also have a TFT display. This is the top spec variant, a 4.2-inch color TFT display with Bluetooth connectivity and turn-by-turn navigation. Again, it adds a layer of premiumness to the Bergman Street. Then, in terms of storage, you have an open cubby over here. You have keyless start. If you just pull the key from the source, so this is what the key looks like. You also have an answer back function, so in case when you press this, you can basically notice where your scooter is parked in a parking lot. And you also have a keyless ignition fob over here. Looks a little bit like ones you find on a washing machine, but it looks quite neat. You also have a storage option over here as well, as you can see. Also, you have a USB charger, but this is not a Type-C charger. I wish they'd given a Type-C charger, but you can easily put a phone inside. It's quite a deep pocket. Now let's move to the engine. This has a 124cc air-cooled single-cylinder engine, and it makes the same power as before, but it's slightly lower in the rev range. But the talking point here is now the peak torque has gone up to 10.2 Newton meters, and that's up by 0.4 Newton meters. But more importantly, it peaks at 5,250 RPM instead of 5,500 RPM. So what Suzuki has said is that they've improved more of the mid-range performance, and they've also made some changes to the CVT's tuning to make it more smoother, especially at speeds between 30 and 60 kilometers per hour. That's the speed at which a lot of people ride around in the city. Now let's move to the chassis again. There are some changes over here, and this scooter is 500 grams lighter than before, whereas the torsional stiffness has risen by 25%. You have a telescopic fork at the front and a monoshock at the rear. And as I mentioned before, the scooter rides on 12-inch wheels at both ends and is shod with tubeless tires. Well, braking is taken care of by a disc brake at the front, but there is no ABS. And at the rear, you have a drum brake setup. And now let's talk about the underseat storage space. That has gone up as well. It has risen from 21.5 liters to 24.6 liters, but that has not come at the cost of the fuel capacity. So the fuel capacity is still at 5.5 liters. And well, some of the best bits about the Bergman still continue. This is a very wide and big seat, and you have different riding positions. So I'm 5 feet and 10 inches, and I wear size 10 boots. And as you can see, I can sit quite comfortably. There's a lot of room on the floorboard, and I can also stretch my legs like this and ride very comfortably. This has been one of the biggest USPs of the Bergman, and it still continues even with the new Bergman. As you can see, there's a lot of room for the pillion as well, so no complaints there. And I think a lot of people love the Bergman for the kind of comfort that it offers. Now, speaking about comfort, Suzuki has not made any changes to the suspension. So it has the same suspension that you see on the outgoing Bergman 125 Street. Now, compared to the previous Bergman Street, this scooter is heavier. The Ride Connect edition weighs 114 kilos, while this TFT variant weighs 115 kilos. So another 2026 Suzuki Bergman Street is priced at rupees 1.02 lakh for the Ride Connect edition, and the variant that you see here is the top variant with the TFT display and the keyless ignition, and that is going to set you back by 1.13 lakh. So between these two Bergmans, you can also buy the previous generation Bergman EX that continues to remain on sale, and that is priced at 1.07 lakhs. Let us know what you think about the prices in the comment section. What do you think about the design and the new features of the Bergman? And for more information, follow bikeWale.com.